Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to be looking at the news update on the forums about, as you can see, Premier Recruit's 5-star drop rate update. So this is the post. It's not very long, but I'm going to read through it and then we're going to go through the actual numbers themselves. It says, "Greetings survivors. In our effort to improve the Premier Recruit's experience, we have made another important update that we wanted to share. Starting today, Friday, April 19th, the drop rate of 5-star characters in Premier Recruits has been increased from 5% to 10%. As a part of this update, we have also taken a look at an opaque feature of Premier Recruits that guaranteed a 5-star character in every 40 opens. We believe that this 1 in 40 guarantee was not sufficiently transparent, was difficult for players to track progress against, and was a consistent source of confusion. Accordingly, we have removed the 1 in 40 guarantee in favor of increasing the drop rate of 5-star characters to 10%. We believe this is a substantially improved experience in that players will be able to obtain significantly more 5-star characters going forward. As a reminder, we've also improved the odds of acquiring the featured Premier Recruit with each open. The more Premier Recruit opens you make, the better your chances are of receiving the featured Premier Recruit until you get that featured character. Let us know what you think of these changes. Thank you, and we appreciate your feedback." So we'll check the odds out in game, and they are live right now with the Dr. Stevens promo. And if you just hit the question mark in the top right hand corner underneath the word Premier Recruits, you can bring up the odds, and this is them as you can see. And the Epic Recruits have indeed been increased to 10%. So you have got double your chances to receive an Epic Recruit as you have previously, in terms of every 10 pulls you should roughly get one on average. Sometimes you're going to get more, sometimes you're going to get less, but you should get one. I think there's still a chance, obviously, over a 40 pull you could get none. It's going to be very low percent. It's going to be down in the 1s and 2%, but it is still a possibility. The guarantee of 1 in 40 really didn't give you much anyway, in terms of if you pulled 40 pulls and you only got that one guaranteed 5-star, it wouldn't really be like you're that happy about it, to be honest. The difference is not that big a deal for me in terms of that being removed. 5 stars being increased, majority of the time they're most likely going to be fodder, unless they're a rarer character that I'll just keep a hold of and take up roster space until they eventually potentially become a legacy ascendable, which just may never happen, or may happen, in a very, very long time, to be honest. But what I noticed with the changes of Epic Recruits, because I did a video about the original changes to the odds 2 weeks ago, and obviously I've got past videos looking at odds, I can compare a lot of the old odds and see how they fluctuated over time. Because not only has the Epic Recruit odds changed, but so have the Ascendable drop rates changed. Since the last video that I made, which was just 2 weeks ago, the featured recruit, you have now half the chance of getting a featured recruit than you did before. So here's a screenshot of my video from 2 weeks ago. It's the new pull odds, what has changed video from exactly 2 weeks ago pretty much. And as you can see, you've got a 0.4% chance of getting a legendary featured recruit, and you have a 0.8% chance of getting ascendable epic featured recruit, 0.6% for a legendary recruit that isn't the featured character, and 0.9% of getting an ascendable epic recruit that isn't the featured character. Now I put this on a nice little image here so you can just see it easily, and this is the odds: 0.4, 0.8, 0.6, 0.9. Fast forward to today, these are now the odds for ascendable characters, and as you can see, the legendary featured recruit now has 0.2% instead of 0.4%. Ascendable epic featured recruit has 0.4% instead of 0.8%, but the other two odds remain the same. So while the 10% is a great increase, some of the percentages to increase to that 10% were taken out of the ascendable recruits. Ascendable recruits are the main reason people pull promos, not to get 5 stars. The only people who are really going to benefit from 5 stars are people who are brand new to the game. Most people who do heavy pulls on this wheel are not brand new to the game. They've been playing a long time. They're your whales, basically. The people who are consistently pulling are the people who have been pulling for a very long time. They don't want 5 stars. The 10% increase is just Benedicts for them. A lot of people may even depot those characters unless they're in Survivors Club, especially if they are consistently pulling. I also found a screenshot of the odds before the update from 2 weeks ago, and these are the changes overall from the old odds from about a month ago to the odds that are here today, you now have less chance of getting a 6-star by 0.2%, you have more chance of getting ascendable by 0.3%, and then you have more chance of getting a 5-star by 5%. Obviously, based on the early April update, we did have a 0.6% more chance of getting an ascendable or above over the 5-star ascendable and the 6-star. But overall, the odds have changed positively, but most people do pull for that featured character. And those are the odds that are the most disturbing, especially with the latest update, because the latest update is, since the early April update, the idea that people want to get 5 stars more than they potentially want to get the featured recruit. Halving the featured recruit odds as part of the increase to 5-star characters is a really bad decision in my opinion. And I think that the odds should be reverted to 0.4% and 0.8% on the featured recruit, and you take the odds out of the 4-star, which is like 85% plus. It's at I think it's at 87.9. I think you could probably take the 0.6% out of that instead of out of the featured recruits, because like I said, people are not pulling when a new character comes out for a 5-star character. They're pulling for the featured recruit, and now you've got half the chance that you did before. Now in the news post, it does mention something that was also added, and that is this part here where it says, as a reminder, we've also recently improved the odds of acquiring the featured Premier Recruit with each open. The more Premier Recruits opens you make, the better your chance are of receiving the featured Premier Recruit until you get that featured character. No one knows what that means. It could literally mean a 0.01% chance increase every time. There needs to be a little bit more clarification of what that means. How many pulls is there a guarantee that someone's going to get that character? Even if it's a really high number, it should be published. 500? 400? 1,000? Like I said in my previous video, I remember reading an article about a game in Japan where a guy did over 1,000 pulls for a featured character and didn't get that character. And that game implemented a minimum of like 400 pulls, and you're guaranteed to get that character. So if you're going to drop that much money on the game, you're guaranteed. I'm sure that is in here somewhere, where the potential of getting that character is so high, i.e. like 95%, it gets to that point. But how many pulls does it take to get to that point? That needs to be published. It needs to be a bit more transparent in how the pull system works, because right now it's not so clear. And up here you can see it says that this was originally changed from the 1 in 40 to now an increased chance of 5-star drops because it was a consistent source of confusion. Right now, the increased odds with pulls on the featured character is a massive source of confusion because there is no information really given about that. We're just told that it is the case rather than telling us how it works. How many pulls will it be? That sort of thing. That is a source of confusion, and that needs to be clarified. The removal of an epic character every 40 pulls, the guarantee of 1 in 40, as it was shown in that original news post, is not that big a deal in my opinion in terms of actually losing out on that. It was more confirmation of the fact seemingly coming a little late. We have been seeing reports over the last month or two of people doing 40 pulls and not receiving that guaranteed 5-star character. Now, it potentially could have been the case for a very long time because the odds were originally increased to 5% for that 5-star character, which is a rough 1 in 40 average. However, with that potential, you can still get 0. You can still get 0 now with the increase to 10%, but you're obviously a lot less likely to. But at least we've got confirmation, at the very least, that 1 in 40 pulls is not a guaranteed 5-star character. Even if the increased percentage in the 5-star characters has been paid for in parts with some of the ascendable character percentages. So that's the end of my video, guys. That's the update to the odds. Do tell me what you think about the changes. Do you think we need more information on the featured character? Do you think the odds need to change again, with the featured recruit odds being reduced to increase the 5-star character odds? Do tell me your thoughts. And that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.